Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Digital Idea Organization. This is Tiffany, for those of you who don't know, and I just want to thank you for joining us this morning. This webinar was not offered to a large range of people. It was offered to current participants in the Get Organized Challenge and past participants. We put a little note on Facebook, and if you were in the challenge, you knew about it. So, and the reason I did that is because you guys are guinea pigs. I'm doing a test session here to see how this works. And so I hope that at the end of the session, you can take a few minutes and email me, or you could even post on Facebook or, about the session and what you thought about the way that we did it, because it is something brand new to me. So we're a small group this morning, just a little bit over 100 participants, but I really would like to get your feedback on it. So with Digital Idea Organization, the reason I even decided to do this is because we're getting more and more digital on everything in our lives. So, but at the same time, we're still tangible in the scrapbooking world, right? So how do we combine those two worlds, especially as smartphones are getting more and more prevalent, and you have information, you can have information with you all the time. And so Digital Idea Organization, I think is going to be a huge asset to us when we're shopping or when we're at a crop or just when we're on the internet and we find interesting things that we want to remember. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into it. Now, there aren't a lot of slides with this. There are just two slides, the welcome slide and the what you need slide. So what you need to organize digitally is Microsoft Office OneNote, and that's what I'm going to use today. I'm going to open Evernote and kind of show you around in Evernote. Evernote's free. Microsoft Office OneNote is probably already on your computer if you have Microsoft Office 2007 or 2010. If you don't have it, it's about $80, I think, to buy just the OneNote program, and I'm pretty sure it exists for Mac as well. So one of those two things is what you need. Or there are a lot of other things like Evernote. Evernote is the one that seems to be prevalent in the marketplace, and there are lots of apps that have been designed for it, so you can add on to it. So OneNote is also available for your smartphone, so you can link things together using your SkyDrive. I'm going to talk a little bit technically about stuff. Whoops, let me end my show here and get back to my computer. So I'm going to open OneNote. Let's see here. In OneNote, for those of you who aren't sure if you even have it, let me redo some stuff here. If you just go to your start screen here and just in the search programs and file box at the bottom, type in OneNote, it's going to pop up. And you can just click on it and it's going to bring it right up for you. So I'm going to start from scratch here with OneNote. So this is what OneNote looks like. Now, if you're using if you're using Windows 7, you have the ability to have my OneNote notebook open and yours at the same time by doing this little bounce thing from the corner so you can see different things at the same time. So this is the little icon for Evernote. I'm going to go ahead and open that as well, and then I'm going to bounce that into the corner too so you can see it. So OneNote has some limitations, but it does have a good tagging feature so you can search for things. So these are kind of the differences. I don't know why I have that. These kind of just automatically added to OneNote, I guess. I don't know what that is either. Let me get that out of there. So, these are the two different ones. The reason I like OneNote better than Evernote is because Evernote lets you load anything you want into your notebook, but it doesn't let you segment things off very easily. So I'm going to work mostly in OneNote, and actually, I'm going to open my question pane. I'm going to reduce this here. I know I'm not. You guys can't see my question pane. I'm going to open my question pane and leave it up on my screen. So that means I can't really have Evernote open. I'll talk about Evernote a little bit after I'm done. But that way, as questions are popping up, I will see them, and I can answer questions as we go, which is something that I hadn't done in the past with the other webinars. So when you get into OneNote, the first thing you want to do is open a notebook or start a notebook. So you're going to have you're going to have this personal notebook is going to come up first. It's going to be there already. And then you're just going to go to New, File, New, and New Notebook. And so we're going to call this Digital Idea Webinar Notebook. And so mine's already set up with SkyDrive. You can see that it says web location, Microsoft SkyDrive, documents share just with me, or documents make public. And so the nice thing about OneNote, and you can do the same thing in Evernote, is that you can set this up so that you can share it with other people if they also have SkyDrive or they have an invitation or a link with you. And it's also going to sync to your smartphone once you set it up to sync to your smartphone. And what that means is that if you're in Michael's or at the local scrapbook store or whatever, you can access that notebook on your phone. So if you're looking for a particular product or idea or different embellishments that you need to complete a layout that you have stored in OneNote, you're going to actually have that with you in your phone rather than having to print it out and take it with you. So for those of you who are into the smartphone, being able to use all those functions, it really does work very well for that. So I'm just going to hit Create Notebook. My little tab here. And then it's going to say, do you want to email a link? And if you click on email a link, you're going to get something that looks like this. Thinking very slowly, I guess, about emailing the link. And so these will open on the web browser and then just directly into OneNote. So depending on how you're using it, you can share that link with people. So you just email it out to whoever you want to have it, and when they get the link, then they can log in and look at your notebook. So if you're sharing notebooks with friends, or if you have a particular group of people that you craft with or that you scrapbook with, you can have a group notebook where everybody can add their ideas to it. So it's kind of a cool feature in that way. Now, for those of you who have taken webinars, challenge webinars, I guess all of you have, OneNote would be a great way to take notes while you're watching the webinar as well. You can make it small in the corner and add notes, and you can actually label and change the sections. So this is the reason that I prefer OneNote over something like Evernote. So you can see right here I have section 1, and you can add sections just by clicking along the top. So hopefully you can see everything that's, so you can open as many sections as you want. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is to follow, obviously, the 4-section system as you're setting up ideas for notes, for organizing your ideas. And then there's going to be a few other sections as well. So for those of you who took the magazine idea organization class, it's kind of the same thing. We're just going to do it digitally. So we're just going to highlight this section 1, right, and I'm going to rename it. So section 1, is alphabets, numbers, and punctuation. So just like it is in your scrap rack. So we're organizing the same way, so when you're looking for ideas that fit those categories, you know where to go to look for them. So section 2 then, let's rename that for those of you who have OneNote open and you're sort of working along with me. So section 2 is themes. Section 3, we're going to rename as calendar, holiday and seasons, however you want to label that. How did I get to section 6 here? It's not what I want. Well, that doesn't matter because we can. And then rainbow. Okay. So there's that section 4 that I wanted. Let me change this tab. rename this as rainbow. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to leave it as is because it's going to show up where I want it. So now you've got the 4-section system kind of listed in there. And then there's going to be other, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so I can see a little bit more of what I've got going on here. And I do need to rename that. I'm sorry, ladies. Thanks for bearing with me. So, and then there's some other things that you might want to have on your digital idea organization. So pictures per page might be one for design. See, and you can name these anything you want, right? I'm going to call this Pics Per Page. So when you're looking for, say you have 6 pictures that you want to fit on a single page layout, or 10 pictures that you want to fit on a single page layout, this is going to give you a place to organize those by the number of pictures on a page. Similar to, as I said earlier, how we discussed about physical magazine idea organization. You might have one that you want to call new products, or products new, whatever it's going to trigger in your brain. You might want to label one tools. And these are just places that you can store ideas that you see on the internet of how to use a particular tool or any of those kind of things. So just like, okay, so Sharon says, OneNote is a free app on the iPhone. I don't know if it's a full version I'm downloading now. Yeah, I know it's a free app on the Android phone too. I just think when you're putting it on your PC, you have to buy the program. So if you want to link it from your Mac or your PC to the app using SkyDrive or iCloud or whatever, you have to have it on your PC as well. So some people are really comfortable using just their phone. And so if you can do all of these things just on your phone, if you're comfortable with that, I'm still hooked into my laptop for doing these kind of things. Now, also, if you're using an iPad, you can link all this up too, again, through iCloud, so that it would all be on your iPad as well. So a little bit bigger screen, a little bit easier for those of us in the older ranks to actually work with. So once you don't have to set up all your tabs right away. You can actually add tabs as you go. So then over here on the side, you're going to see that you have different pages. So this is an untitled page. So whatever you want to title this page, so alphabets, numbers, and punctuation, and this page might be, I don't know, things to do with stickers. And you can see the title of the page shows up over here on the right side. And that's kind of big, things to do with stickers, right? So you can't really see the whole thing. So then you think, oh, that's probably too much title. You can just back it up, and then you could do it over here, uses. And now when you look over here on the little tab on the right, it says stickers and uses, so you can see the whole thing. So if you wanted to do a new page, and you could title that, so in the alphabet section, you could be stamps I own. Okay? So now it says over here, stamps I own. You can put them in alphabetical order just by moving them around. So if you're going to put examples of stamps that you own, this is going to come in more prevalent, like with Cricut cartridges or whatever. You can add those images right here to this page so that you can see them all. And again, the benefit to this is you don't actually have to carry that catalog around with you when you're at, if you have it downloaded onto your smartphone. But when you're looking at home through things, it's easy to do this. So now you can, what we've done with the cataloging, you can put those examples right into your digital notebook by finding them on the internet and then just copying and pasting them over. So if we're going to, let's go to themes and set up a few pages in themes, right? So one theme might be sports, and another theme we're going to add a new page might be zoo, and then we can add a new page that might be, I don't know, help me out here, ladies. Let's say a theme, another theme is going to be camping. Okay. So now I've set up 3 pages inside that tab. So it's just like using a notebook in the sense that if you opened your notebook and you found that divider that said themes and you flip to that, and then you would have tabs off the edge of the next thing like we do over here on the right with the different things. And again, this one is out of alphabetical order, so I'm just going to move it up here. Oops, I think I'm going to move it. Why doesn't it want to move for me? Oh, because I'm on a new page. That's why I'm not on the camping page. It doesn't like to move camping. There we go. I just grabbed it wrong. So now you can just move them around to keep them in alphabetical order if that's important to you. And you all know for me that's important. So I'm going to go in here and delete this page. Just going to right-click on it and delete. So you can see how easy it is. It just functions the same way that most of the programs that we use in terms of being able to move things and drag and drop and all of those things go in together. So now I've got these basic sections set up. Now I can just go on the internet. I'm going to open a new browser window here. I'm going to reduce this down a little bit so we can see what's going on. I'm going to make this, I'm going to bounce this guy up there. So now we can go in and just search for zoo scrapbooking ideas in the search box. Now. And I'm going to go, so I search for zoo scrapbooking ideas. Obviously, what I really want is images, and so I'm just going to click on the images tab. So this is going to work regardless of if you're in an email from scrapbooking.com and they have an idea that you like, or if you're on a website, CK's website, maybe there's an idea that you like, and you're just going to be able to scrap lift that picture. So So if you like that idea, you can just move it right over into your, drag and drop it into your notebook. Now some images are not as friendly as other images. Let's see if I can find one that's not going to work here. Does that guy come over? Sometimes they're too big. Let me make this big for a second. So this guy might not be friendly for stealing. If he'll pop up there, yeah, he will. So if you get an image where you can't copy the image, or you can't drag and drop the image, you can just right-click it and save image as. So I'm going to click on this and pretend that I couldn't do it. So when you bring up that image, that's really cute too, isn't it? And you can just right-click the image and save image as, and then just put it on your desktop temporarily. We're just going to give it a name, Zoo Layout. I'm going to save it on my desktop. I'm going to reduce this. So now I can find that zoo layout on my desktop wherever it went. There it is. And now I can drag it and drop it on there, or I can right-click, copy, and paste it on there. So just because you can't get just because an image won't allow you to drag and drop it into your notebook, you can still get that image just by using maybe a different strategy for getting it onto your desktop and then copying it and pasting it onto your desktop. So let me go back to Safari here. So that's a great way to just get those designs that you want. Let me go back and we'll do, this one has a little wagon on it, so let's drag that guy over. I'm going to delete these. So again, to delete them, so I have 3 there, right? So I'm just going to click on it, get that box around it, and delete it. I don't really need 3 of that zoo layout. This one's really cute with the turtle. It has a little, some writing on it, so it may not let me drag it. A lot of times they're protected. Oh, there it goes. All right, so I'm going to make this big again. So now that you've got some images in your thing here, in your notebook under Zoo, you can tag those images so they're easy to find. So you might want to call it Zoo. So this one, if you loved it because of the frames, and I don't know, maybe you thought it was a great San Diego Zoo. So whatever you label it, let's do this one, boy with baseball cap. I'm having some typing trouble this morning. This one with a wagon and a turtle. Whatever you label that, you're going to be able to find it by using the Search Notebooks function, okay? So I'm just going to switch off this page here. And then I'm going to go to Search Notebooks up here, and I'm going to go search in this notebook, and so that's what the Digital Webinar Idea Notebook, and I'm going to write baseball. Right? And this is going to take me, see how it highlights the word baseball? It's going to take me right there to that baseball cap picture. So whatever little tags you use, you can find whatever you want. I also have the word frame. So that's going to highlight frames and take me right to that. So the nice thing about this is it's going to take you to whatever tag you want. So if you said, I'm going to work on ideas with wagons, and you had a wagon in Zoo and a wagon in themes under summer or in calendar under summer, when you type in wagon, it's going to show you where all of those things are that you tagged it with wagons. So you'll be able to easily find those things. Now, if you want to get a close-up of it, it'll get big, you know, depending on how, like this one was 400 by 400. So it gets a little fuzzy when it gets bigger than that. But you can make the images large while you're looking at them or small while you're storing them. So it's really nice to be able to get more of that close-up of how that layout was done or how that layout was completed. Let's see how big this guy was. So this one even has the, you can see the gal's website on there too as well. Now that's another thing is that you can easily then save. So if you want the information on how this was actually put together, when you clicked on it, it took you to that website. So just passing through by Barbara. So you can go just right up here to this, into the URL, copy the URL, and then go back over here and underneath, oops, you can paste that link. Now, now you can get right back there. So if you wanted to go back in, if she had step-by-step instructions for putting this layout together, you can save the link, and when you're in your notebook, you can just click on the link, and it's going to take you right there to her blog. Sometimes when you try to click on the link, it gives that little like a bubble that's like a warning bubble, and it won't go anywhere. You just need to hold down the Control key and click on the link. So now it's going to take you right back to this blog with all of the different animal ideas that were there. One of the problems with blogs, though, is that sometimes people take the information down, right? So if this was a how-to, a step-by-step, you could just also highlight the sections that you want, right-click, copy, reduce that down, go back here, give yourself a little more space, and just paste that information right there underneath. So that, again, you're going to have exactly that information. And whenever you do that, you do automatically get the link to the website right underneath. So whatever you want to save off the internet, you can just put it right into that section. So calendar, same thing. You're going to go in and just set up each new page. You might do it by month. You might do it by holiday. You might do both. So we could do January, and then we could do a new page, February, new page. We might do Valentine's Day right under February. So you can just work your way through the holidays, new page. What comes after? And we have March and new page, St. Patrick's Day. So you can do both things or just holidays, whatever is going to work for you, whatever is going to, you know, best satisfy your memory. And then you can just add things from the internet or things that you've scanned into your computer. You can just cut and paste them and add that right to that page. You can also just add notes. So let's say if you want to St. Patrick's Day, if you had a St. Patrick's Day poem, you could just type it here, and then you have it. Or if you had ideas about St. Patrick's Day, like mentally in your head that you didn't have a layout for, you could type another box that was another entry that was use green glitter paper to make a leprechaun. I don't even know if I know how to spell leprechaun, A-U-N, I think. So you can include any kind of notes like that. So when you're working on St. Patrick's Day, anything you think of, or if you see a clever idea in a store and you're using your smartphone, you can go into your OneNote book and take a picture of it in the store and save it in your OneNote book. So that's right there where you saw it, or you can just type yourself a note about it. You can create a new tab that's a shopping list of items, and you can actually copy and paste items right from the internet onto that shopping list. So sometimes we see something in a package and we want to remember what that package looked like because it's easier to find on the shelf. So it's really pretty simple to just incorporate whatever you need and then rearrange those items so that they're in a way. I'm going to rename this section 1 a shopping list. And you can do a new page for this. So you have the shopping list page. You might want a new page that says things to check this out. So if you saw a new product or whatever, and then when you get into the store, again, you go to your shopping list, you go to check this out, new ribbon punch from Fiskars. Right? I wanted to check that out. If you had a picture of it, you could incorporate it right into that shopping list. So it really makes it easy to pull things around. Now, let's talk about tools. Stamps I own. I put stickers under tools. That's not really where I wanted to put it. It should have been under alphabet. I must have been on the wrong thing. But that's okay because I'm going to change it. It's in the wrong place. But what I really want is Cricut. I'm going to just shorten it. Cartridges I want. Then I'm going to add a new page. Cartridges I own. Okay? So now you can go, again, just back to the internet and search for that Cricut cartridge. I think there's Zubaloo. Is that how they spell it? Cricut. I'm going to search for that and see what I come up with. I'm going to go to images because that's what I want is the image. And there it is, the Zubaloo image. I'm going to see if I can pull it over here and let it go on my page. Cricut cartridge images tend to be the ones that are kind of feisty. Oh, and it's really big. You can see over here the size of it. So let's try and pull it over here again, see if it'll let me pull it over. Yeah, there it goes. So now, then I can put it underneath it. I can write what it is. Zubaloo. Right? I can tag it Zoo. Whoop. So when I'm looking for zoo things, again, I can go into Notebook. This notebook. Search zoo. And now it pulls up in the zoo image in the digital, in the zoo section, and it also in the theme section. It also comes up in cartridges I own. So it'll take, so you can go right there and see those particular cartridges that you own or things that you're looking for. So the search function is really great. Now, when we talk about Evernote, I'll just pop into here really quickly. Evernote's the same thing, except you just I'm in all notes. I'm going to go here to digital organization. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there again. So now in Evernote, you just don't have all those tabs and labels off to the side. And you know what, I said I would open my question pane window, and I'm sorry. Oh, somebody says, what is a thicker? A thicker is a thick sticker, and they're alphabet stickers. I think mostly, I don't know if they make anything else other than alphabet stickers, but it's a thicker is a thick sticker. So, yeah, so sorry, I know those are, this one doesn't want to pull over into this notebook. Let me see here. If I need it, I don't know, it went into this one. But so here's the thing with Evernote. You don't have all those tabs. You still have the same search function. So if you typed in zoo here, you could still search for it. It's already there. So it's right there at the top. But it just lines up notes in a big band, and then you can scroll through it and look for them, or you can use the search function and look for them as well. So it's free. It's got Android and iPhone apps. You can download it onto your computer as well. It syncs as well to the internet. So it's decent functionality for something that you don't have to pay for. So but you can see I'm not getting any kickback from Microsoft either about OneNote. It's just that OneNote is so much more functional in terms of how a notebook works. And a lot of people, if you have Microsoft Office and a more recent edition, then you actually have that as well. So it's kind of the same mental process, that same 4-section system. The same way we organize our stamps and our punches and our Cricut cartridges, you can put them in the same way. So I've got this zoo cartridge, right? And I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go to themes, and here we are on my zoo page, and I'm going to add that Cricut cartridge right to the zoo page. Whoops. I'll paste right here. So now I have the ideas on the zoo page, the layouts, and then I have the cartridges that might go with it. So if I had a zoo stamp, so I'm going to just sneak back to the internet here and steal some more stuff. I'm going to go zoo acrylic stamp. Now, you can scan if you buy new stamps or whatever, or you have already a catalog of stamps that you've already made. You can just scan that and move that catalog page right into your digital catalog as well. So let's go images and see what we get here. And then you can write the number also, right? So here's a zoo stamp right here. So if this zoo stamp, wait till it loads here, I might get my little finished thinking screen. You're going to pull that over. And if you have this acrylic stamp in your collection at home already, you're going to tag it. Maybe you want to do penguin, alligator, elephant. And then what your stamp number is. So if you have it under unmounted stamp, this for me, the size of it, I'm going to guess, is going to be in a 5x7 page. So that's going to start with a 5 for me. So it would be stamp number 5, maybe 101. So now when I go to the zoo page and look at ideas, I'm also seeing my Cricut cartridges and my stamps. I can search by penguin, alligator, elephant. I can put all of these names in. And when I want to use that stamp, I know to go to my unmounted stamp catalog, look behind tab number 5, and this is going to be stamp number 101 behind tab number 5. So the downside to this over the physical catalog that you create is that you don't know the exact size of those things. And you can put, dimensions and stuff there. With your physical catalog, when you have it in front of you, when you're flipping through it, you know the exact size that you've got. The big advantage to the stamps and punches and those things in here is that when you're out and you think, oh, look at that cute penguin stamp, I'm going to buy that, you can just, if you have all your stuff in OneNote, you can go to your phone, OneNote, search penguin, and all the penguin things that you have are going to pop up. You can look on the stamp page, hey, I already have 3 penguin stamps, I don't need that. Or I don't have any penguin stamps, I probably need 3. So whatever you've got going. So as you're building your catalog, your physical catalog, you can incorporate those things right into almost an identical catalog here. So, so I put this under Zoo, but I could also put a tab here that was stamps, and I can paste that, oops, let me delete that. Let me go back over here and drag that image over into stamps. And again, I can just give it that number, unmounted, section 5, stamp number 101. I can put the same tags with it, zoo, animals, monkey, whatever, you know, panda maybe, because it's, and just whatever you want, you know, the size of it, the shape of it, whatever information you want, you can just incorporate it right in there, which then allows you to come back here to search this notebook and find panda. Oops. And it's going to bring it up right here in stamps. There it is. Okay. So let's open another page. Let's go to themes here, and we're going to search this notebook for panda. And then you can click on it here, and it'll take you to the stamps page. We were on the stamps page before. I don't know why I have the recycle bin thing popping up there. Maybe it's telling me to quit saving so much stuff. I don't know. So, so you can do, if we change this, rename this to stamps. And then again, you can do this, you could do a separate catalog, which was zoo stamps or animal stamps or whatever you wanted to name that. But it's really simple now to put things in multiple sections and for them to pop up. Now, with that said, you could throw everything into just one page and use the search functions to find it. But the advantage, obviously, to setting things up by theme is, hey, I'm going to work on zoo pages. You know, what are some of the ideas I had for zoo pages? Oh, these are cute, or I love that, or whatever. So grouping them together by theme or calendar or event or whatever can be really important. The other thing about this is that you can add a note. So if you love this San Diego Zoo layout, you can put a note here that says, want to use this with pictures from Zoo Trip 2010 or 2012 or whatever, and then you can just put a note there about where those pictures are on your computer or that they're already printed. So pictures are printed in holding albums. So you can just, I'm having a hard time typing this morning. So you can just link things together really easily. And again, if you're using it on your smartphone, you can take that information with you on the road so that you know what you have, or you know what you need, or you know what you want, whatever you want to do it. So it's super easy to set up different sections, shopping sections, tool sections, things you have, things you want, and then integrate those things. The same way, it's funny because this is exactly the same way we're doing our physical organization. We're just applying it in the digital world. So we're putting examples of zoo stamps in the zoo category, in the animals category, in just a stamp catalog, all of those ways. We're numbering the same way here as we would be numbering you know, in the physical catalog so that we can find those things quickly and easily. So it's just a matter of taking everything that we've learned in the webinars and applying it to the digital world. You can do the same thing if you are doing some digital scrapbooking as well. If you have a kit that's a zoo kit, you can put an example of it here with a note about where it's stored on your computer, so that when you're looking at your zoo pages, you're like, oh, maybe I'll do this digital. I have that zoo kit. Here it is on my computer. I know where I stored it. And then you can just get right to it and use it. So anything that you can represent in here, it becomes really simple to actually find those things and use those things and create new categories really easily and move them around to be in the order that you want them to be in and all of those wonderful things. So I think I'm trying to, so let's look at this one quickly, Pics Per Page. So you can set up different tabs here, kind of as we talked about, one pic per page, and then you can add a new 2 pics per page, new page, 3 pics per page. However you want to do it. Maybe you have one that's just lots of pics. Okay. So remember, so you might find ideas on the internet that you like for a particular theme or holiday or event. Let's say layout, scrapbook. Search that. Go to images. So you might take this layout right here. You're going to go back to calendar and think, oh, I love this layout right here. So, oops, I'm on St. Patrick's Day, though. I don't want to be there. Valentine's Day. I love this layout right here. I'm going to bring it over, put it in Valentine's Day. And this just has 1 picture per page. You may love the way it is with those blocks and think, I'm going to use that for other things other than Valentine's Day. You go to your pics per page, 1 pic per page, take that same image and move it over. I think I grabbed the wrong image there. Take that same image and move it over here. So now it's in 1 pic per page, and it's also in Valentine's Day. So you can, put as many ideas in. Now, it's easy to overwhelm yourself also, so just be careful that you're not choosing, a bazillion things that you're not interested in. Because the last thing that you want to do, even though this is a really simple way to group, things together, the last thing you want to do is put so much information in here that it's not useful to you anymore. So really, if you just kind of focus on, am I really going to use that? Is it really interesting to me? Then that's what you want to save. But you don't want to, get caught up in saving things that you're actually never going to use. So, but you can also put little notes in there. So if there was a particular reason, this is a gorgeous layout now, isn't it? With just 1 pic per page. It's not a very big image, so when I'm going to make it larger, it's going to be really blurry, but it is really pretty. We could put it right there as the 1 pic per page. And then you can just put a little tag under it about why you liked it. So this might be gorgeous black swirls used for, I don't know, dinner out. 2/14/2012. So anything that you have tied to your pictures that you want to tie to an image. So if I had pictures called dinner out, when I might pull those pictures and that image is what I wanted to use. So any way that you can link those things together so that you actually get a better use out of them is going to make it that much easier, that much more beneficial. Again, it's going to be really easy when you're playing with this to just add lots of stuff in there because it's fun to do that. But you might be sort of sabotaging yourself. So keep things that are relevant and important. And, if the next time you look at this, you go, oh, I used that layout in whatever, I'm done with it, I'm going to just delete it out of there so that I don't duplicate it, and then you can just, delete it out so it's not there anymore. But you really can add just about anything you want and have it at your fingertips, and it's really easy to search for things. Also, let's say there's a great article on journaling. So if you wanted to start a new tab, a new section for journaling, so you've got that journaling tab, and then you could put how to. And so if you found an article on the internet, let me get my how to journal scrapbook. What did we ever do before Google? I don't know. I'm just wait for my load to be complete here before I can scroll down the page. Safari's not my friend here because I'm a Mac. So there's videos here, how to journal video. If you watched that video and you loved it, I don't think you can pull over the picture. That would be nice. Maybe you can. Let's see what we get. But what you can definitely do is click on it on YouTube. This is Vimeo, actually, I think. Oh, no. If you loved it. And then you can save the link to where it is. And you can make a comment. This is a great video about journaling. What is journaling? I don't know. There's an advertisement in the beginning of it. Here's an article about how to journal. So again, you can just copy and paste, just cut and paste those things. Looks like I've got a double thing going here. So different ideas about, instructions to create journal entries in your scrapbook. If you loved this, you can just highlight it. Now, these things this is eHow, so it's going to have all these ads in it. That's okay. So get the information that you want. Right-click, copy. I don't know that actually copied. It kind of gave me a weird little thing. Oh, yeah, there it is. And then you can delete this stuff out. You might want to have it. I don't know. But anywhere that's going to be blue is going to be an advertisement. So, and again, it says down here where it came from at the very bottom. So if there's an article that you love, you can add it right there into whatever page that you want to put it into. Now, as we're working over here and I'm creating these tabs at the top, you can't see them all. They're just over here on the left side. So you have alphabets, themes, calendar, year, rainbow. You can put it back in the 4-section system. You can put it in alphabetical order. You can delete the like this new section. I thought I'd change this name to journaling. Apparently not. So now I've got journaling. If I was going to put it in alphabetical order, so I might go themes, or sections 1 through 4, and then put things in other things in, stamps, Cricut, whatever it is. But however defined you want it to be, you can really just break it down and work with it in any dimension that you want. So whether you're scanning things in, or you might have pictures already that you, on your computer, where you want to put a picture from an event so that you remember to use that picture in your particular theme or whatever. So here's a camping one. So if I wanted to go into, let's see, pictures, and let's see, Ukiah, I might, here I'll embarrass my significant other. Here the boys are bathing in stream water when we're camping in Ukiah in their underwear. So I might want to paste that in there. And now I have that picture in the camping section. I don't know, what I might use it for in their underwear, camping in your underwear, I don't know. Nice socks. You see Park's nice motorcycle socks there. I told him he had to get in the stream with his socks because he smelled so bad. But so you might put, find a great layout for this picture, right? Or you might find a layout that you think is great with this picture and have the picture there linked together with it so that you can actually see it and use it. And you could put a note underneath it about where it is on your computer. Also, this little button here, make text in the image searchable. So if there was some text in an image, like maybe you took a picture of a road sign or something, and then you could turn that on so that if you were searching for May's, roadside cafe or whatever it was, the text in the image would also be searchable. So there's just a lot of fun little tools that you can work with when you're doing it. But you can literally put anything you want right into that section pretty simply and easily. So I'm going to open up the question pane now, and we'll answer some questions. Okay, these are all just, what is a thicker? I already answered that. Hello, I was wondering if my OneNote at my PC will talk to my OneNote on my iPad, Apple product, and how do I connect the two? I might be gone by the time you answer it, dentist appointment, but I will check the video again. Yeah, I think iCloud works best for linking PC. Now, SkyDrive might work too. I have both of them. I'm just not tech savvy enough to know if SkyDrive. I know that one of the things about iCloud is that they say you can link your Mac, your PC, your Android, your iPad, and your iPhone all through iCloud. So I'm assuming SkyDrive, which is the Microsoft version of that, does the same thing. But yes, you should be able to see everything once you're all linked together. Will we get a link so we can watch this again? Yeah, we're recording this whole session, so I'll put it back up. When listing your stamps, do you scan these? So there's a couple ways to do your stamps. You can either photocopy them or scan them and then load those images in. If you've already done a stamp catalog, you can download the whole stamp catalog and load that image in because it'll already have the numbers and everything on it for those stamps. Plus, once you, let's say you download a stamp page that has a whole bunch of different kinds of stamps on it. Literally, like if I took my unmounted stamp page off my scrap rack and put it on the scanner, all the little pockets that the stamps are in are already numbered. They're already there. Well, I could download that image and then just crop out certain pieces of it and move it around to each section that I wanted to do it. Or if you know the product number, there's a good chance you're going to be able to put the product number or name into your search box on into Google, and that image will pop up, and then you can just copy it and paste it over. So in a lot of instances, it might be faster or easier, and you don't have to ink something to move it over. Now, again, the one downside to this is that you're not getting things in their actual size, right? So it's not as easy to, when you're at a crop or whatever, if you have that physical catalog with you, you know exactly the size of that stamp or punch. So I guess you can load them at actual size, but that's a little bit more work. But you can do it any of those ways. I guess the only way you can't do it is to physically stamp a picture on the screen of your computer. You have to scan it or photocopy it, take a picture of it, or get the image off the internet. But as far as the internet goes, almost everything is there in image, so then it's easier. Is there another program we can use? I didn't get the name of it. Yes, it's called Evernote. It looks like this little guy right here. It's the elephant. It's free. I'll bring it up right here. It's this little elephant logo. It's free, and there's a lot of really great apps for it. The difference with Evernote is you can open different notebooks, but within the notebook you can't, you don't get the tabbing function and the page function that you get with OneNote. So you just really have to do a good job with tagging the things that you put in there. So if you're tagged everything, you know, zoo, then when you clicked on zoo, it would bring up all of your zoo things, your stamped images, your Cricut cartridges, your layout design ideas, any article that might, have to deal with a zoo, whatever, would be in there. So the search function on Evernote is really good. It just doesn't have the same ability, or I haven't discovered the same ability to do the, page names that are a little bit easier to rearrange and keep in order. Christy says, is there a size limitation for notebook? With all the images, I imagine they can get pretty large. Won't they be slow to load when you pull them up on a phone? Yes. Yes, they will be slow. Well, I don't know. It depends on the kind of phone you have. So if you're operating on a 4G phone that's just like high-speed internet connection with fast internet, then it's going to be fast. If you're using an older phone that doesn't have as fast of internet connection, or you don't pay for as fast of internet connection. But what you're pulling it up on your phone, and it's on the net when you're pulling it up on your phone. So you're not actually, it's not actually storing in your phone. You're pulling it up on the internet using that application. So yes, depending on your service, it'll be faster or slower. You can make the notebook as big as you want. And there's some other things I guess I didn't really talk about. So let's go back here to Pics Per Page just for fun. There are these other options at the top, draw. So if you wanted to specifically point out something, you could go to your red pen and you could draw a circle around it, or you could, add a heart here, or I'm not very good with my mouse drawing, whatever you want to do. So there are those kinds of options as well, to scribble a note in the margin or add other things. There's also like being able to, you could change your ink to text here, or your ink to math. So if you wrote an equation, I think that's what it's telling us, 4 plus 4. Let's see what happens. I've never used that function before. Oh, no, it says it. Write math here. 2 times 2. Oh. I don't know. I'm not going to do math anyway. Or put a little thing in there. Let's see if I can cut this little box out, because it's just a mess. Cut. Bye-bye. The whole box is gone. So you see how it lights up different boxes for different things? So if you're deleting things out of there, that's how you do it. You just get that, like if you scribble something that you didn't really want, and that'll let you cut the whole, whatever's highlighted, so make sure you don't lose your highlight before you start cutting, as I'm doing there. All right, so you can use those options as well for different things. You can cut stuff. You can arrange, bring to the forward, bring to the back. So that's the same as like you would be using with Photoshop or any of those kind of programs where you're layering things up. So there's a lot of those different kinds of options to play with as well. I don't know that those exist in Evernote either, because I don't have, let's see. So you can clip, you can format. I don't really see those types of options. I don't know that it's as relevant. One of the nice things about those types of options for other programs is that you can literally write notes in the margin as you're sitting at a meeting taking notes. Annie says, so this is sort of like Pinterest for your PC, only more. Yeah, it's like private Pinterest, I guess. So you can add your own things to it. And like I said, you can share those notebooks with people. So if people have permission to access your notebooks and they're using SkyDrive or they're using iCloud or wherever you're uploading those notebooks to, you can share those with friends so they can add things or see things that you're talking about or whatever. So it was really designed for that function was designed for people who are working on projects collaboratively. So maybe you have kids in high school or college who do projects as a team, and this might be something they're not using that would actually be very beneficial as everybody's adding their notes and pictures and ideas to a project. That whole project is all in one place. So it makes it really simple for people to put all their ideas together. So yeah, it is like Pinterest. Will you be, Sandra says, will you be posting on the scrapbook page? I'm assuming, will I be posting the webinar? Yes. Paula says, thank you so much for doing the OneNote organizing webinar. I'm so excited to get started putting crafting and other ideas in OneNote. Yeah, the OneNote, once you start working with it, it has a lot of different functions. So for people who are remodeling or redecorating, if you have a OneNote notebook that's shared, so you might have tabs that say kitchen, bathroom, kids' bedroom, whatever. So when you find something on the internet that you love, you can copy it and paste it right in there and have it on your cell phone. And your architect or your interior decorator can access that notebook and add things or see the things that you're talking about. So it gives a place to compile all those ideas rather than just, sending a picture to your architect or designer in one email and then having to find that email again and that picture later. If you start a OneNote notebook, then you're able to see all those things and collaborate on different projects that way. So I'm sorry, I got halfway through Paula's thing, then I got excited. I'm so excited to get started with OneNote. The visual online live illustrations you provided were so helpful. A suggestion for those who want to save tutorials can be found using Pinterest. The help menu in OneNote is wonderful. It showed me how to add a column to a tab, very easy. I do have a question. Does OneNote take up more computer space than an Excel or Word page? So yes, I mean, you're talking about storing all kinds of images or whatever. So it's going to be a much bigger document than like a Excel document or a Word page or whatever. So yeah, eventually it could get quite large. So Lynn says, this looks very interesting. I am not tech savvy. I'll have to watch this a few times in practice. Thank you for showing us new possibilities. You're so welcome. And one of the things about it is that it's very user friendly. I mean, you can't really mess it up because you can just undo everything or delete things, and you can change the names of things and move things around. So if you wanted to do everything, you know, all the different tabs in alphabetical order, rather than by following, you know, by doing them in the 4-section system order, you can just go over here to the left side and move things around. There's all kinds of different formatting options. You know, you can, over here you can dock it to your desktop. So if it's something that you're using all the time, it's going to be able to pop up right there on your desktop so that you'll actually, you know, be able to see it and access it all the time, all those good things. Now I just clicked on this. Let me get rid of this guy here. Quit Safari. Yeah, I do want to quit Safari. I'm going to go back to view full screen here. Whoops. Where did I go? I'm in one pic per page. That's not what I wanted. So just some of the different options down the side for, you know, how to easily, clicking around, how to easily change things around or create. So you can see I have several notebooks going here on the side. You can collapse them so you don't see all the tabs underneath them, or just expand them out. You guys can see all the different things I'm working on here, my little side tab. But it really is very, very versatile and will do so much for you. And like I said, a lot of you probably already have it on your computer and didn't even know it was there. Sandra says, wow, this is very interesting software. I am computer illiterate, but I can see usefulness of OneNote. I have a dumb phone, but I can use OneNote to organize things on my laptop. Absolutely. And, you know, the phone thing, too, is different. Some people are very comfortable operating on their phone. It tends to be people who are teenagers. They do everything on their phone. But for those who are very comfortable on their phone, it makes a nice portable notebook that's easy to transport around and easy to add things to. I mean, literally, you could take a picture of something in a store and add it right into your OneNote notebook, or as you're driving along the freeway or whatever. But it just does give you a place that you can compile all that stuff. So instead of trying to save emails and then dig through emails to find pictures or links or whatever, you can set up any kind of notebook and then just get in there, and the search function is amazing, so you can easily search out that idea that you're looking for. Christina says, thanks again, Tiffany. This is great to know, as I'm still working on my catalog, and now I can do both at the same time. Absolutely. That's a good point, Christina. I should talk about that when we do start talking about catalogs in the next webinar, in the fall webinar, about maybe I'll interject something like this into that as well. Sandra says, thank you for the information. I wanted to know how to use this program. I have Microsoft Office OneNote 2007. Is there a more updated version? I'm way behind on updates. I think that this is I think I have Office 2010, but I used it in 2007 when I went before, and it just kind of translated over. So I'm not sure what the updates are or what the different updates are. Amy says, woohoo! Both the mailman and the UPS man came at the same time. My very first scrap register with lots of pages. Can't wait to open the packages. Congratulations, Amy. You're going to have so much fun. Is there an undo button? Yeah, right at the top there's an undo button, and there's also the delete function as well. Candy Ford says, I've been using Evernote for a while now, but I can see that I definitely want to get OneNote now for my Mac. Do you know if there's a way to get OneNote without having to buy the whole Office suite? Yeah, you can buy OneNote alone, Candy. I checked it out on the internet this morning just so I would know, and it's around $80, like $79 is what I saw it for most commonly. So yeah, you could just buy the individual component of it. Christina says, the nice part of the webinar has been doing it with you as you go along in OneNote. Thank you. This is kind of a new thing for me to just move around on the computer screen rather than do the PowerPoint slides. So I hope it's been helpful to you all. So Kathy says, couldn't you minimize the size of your notebook by creating separate notebooks, like a notebook for color, one for Cricut, one for tools? That way the pictures are not slowing down your phone in the stores as much. Kathy. You could, sure. I mean, what's going to happen is you would have to then have you'd have to sync all of those notebooks independently as opposed to just syncing your one design notebook. And like I said, you're working on the net at that point. So it's no different than if your phone's slow to download a picture on a website, then it's going to be slow to download OneNote. It's not going to download, it's out there on the net on your SkyDrive. So you're not like actually downloading information to your phone. You're just viewing it using your phone as a viewer. So I don't think it's going to be as big a deal as if you were trying to download 1,000 pictures onto your phone, because you're not actually storing information, you're just viewing information. Joanne says, thanks for this webinar. Didn't know I had OneNote. Love this. Can have on my phone too. Also, please let us know about how Scrap Rack is used for genealogy. Have been researching for many years. Have 2 Scrap Racks, one for scrapbooking and genealogy. Oh, you are great. Thanks again. You're so welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you found it helpful. And OneNote I discovered by mistake that I had on my phone. That I had on my computer, and then I loved it after I found it. So it's really a cool tool. Christine also says, I'll be taking the fall class as well. I need the motivation to keep going as I have not finished going through everything I own yet. LOL. Yes, I am a god a lot. Well, we'll be happy to have you on board, Christina. It's really nice for me, too, to have alumni during the different sessions, because they ask questions that are pertinent from being through this before, and a lot of times I get help with answers, or people who are familiar with the Facebook group, I can just say, go to the Facebook group and look for so-and-so's post or whatever. So it's really helpful that you guys come along for the ride a second or third time. Kathy says, this webinar was great. Really appreciated the on-screen approach where you actually show us what you're clicking and doing. Thanks so much, Kathy Beard. You're so welcome. Karen says, it isn't available for Mac. You can buy individual components from Microsoft, but Publisher and OneNote aren't options for Mac users. Oh, that's a bummer. So there might be something else that you could, I think OneNote on your iPhone is available for Mac. I thought I saw something this morning. Let's just go here to our and maybe I was thinking of Evernote, right? Oh, here's an alternative. Microsoft OneNote Office for Mac. Let's see. I know Evernote. As Candy said, Evernote is, it doesn't have the same features and about 1% of the features as a PC. I'm hoping they improve it. I can really see the benefits of its use as thanks for going. I'm sorry, I'm reading posts from people here as we go. So Christina says, if you have the non-commercial use version of OneNote, you seem to be limited in notebooks. I don't have commercial, but I think I have 2010, and so maybe that's the difference. I mean, and maybe I am limited for notebooks, and I just haven't hit my limit yet. I think, I don't know. Let's see if it says. I don't know. Mine doesn't give any sort of limit, so I don't know. Maybe you found that somewhere else. I just go to the new and keep adding. I hope I'm not limited, although maybe it's a good thing that we're limited on stuff. Candy says, once I get the rest of my scrapbook supplies put together with my genealogy stuff, I'll post pics and info on Facebook. Can't wait to take it to my family reunion in October for folks to browse through. Joanna says, To join the fall webinar series, go to thescrapbook.com and click enter. Yeah, if you want to join the fall challenge series, most of you probably have already seen the link to it, but you can just go right into the website, and it's right at the top, right here, back to school, back to scrapping, get organized challenge. So just click on that link, and it will take you to the click here to register, and you can, and it has all the details and times there. I love this, just being able to click the I love just being able to, click on the web while I'm talking to you guys so I can show you everything. So it looks like that's kind of the end. Carolyn says, I absolutely love your organizing ideas. We'll visit your store in Lancaster at CKC. Will you have the crop crate aprons for sale at the convention? Yes, we will. We usually bring just about everything we can, but we don't have kind of the accessory stuff. So we don't usually have the easels and that kind of stuff there. Candy says, the whole Microsoft Office 2011 for Mac is available online for $119.99, which isn't a lot more than just the one that you talked about. Yeah, so then you could download the whole Office suite, I guess, and I guess you just want to make sure that OneNote is included in that. I don't know a lot about Mac. I'm not a Mac user. I have an iPad that I haven't quite mastered yet. I have to confess, I'm not very hip to the whole I thing. But Candy is. So Candy, even if you want to post that link on the Facebook page too for people, if you get the whole suite, then you'll be in great shape. So it looks like that's the end of the question session here. So I'm going to hit the stop record button and log off. And then as soon as this downloads, I'll go ahead and post it on the website. So anybody that missed it today or wants to go through and rewatch some of the things. But I would really just encourage you to get into OneNote and start clicking around. You can't hurt anything, and you can just practice importing things and moving things around. But it's really a great way, and you already have a foundation to follow along. All you're going to do is take all that information that you've been acquiring over the last 8 weeks in webinar and translate it to digital. And that way it'll be really easy for your brain to follow along and find those things. So thanks so much for joining me this morning, for being my guinea pigs in this session. Also, Joanna posted a note that you can easily find tutorials online for OneNote. So we'll do so much more than I've actually talked about this morning. And it just by going to YouTube and those kind of things, you'll be able to find even more information and more tips and tricks for actually using OneNote. So once you get into it, there's a lot more that it will do. So thanks so much again, ladies, for joining me. If you have comments or suggestions about the webinar, I hope you'll go ahead and feel comfortable to email me and let me know what your thoughts are and what worked for you and what you'd like to see more of or less of or whatever. So have a great summer, because I won't be back online. I mean, I'll be at the Facebook group and email and all those kind of goodies, but I won't be back for webinar until September 11th. So I will see those of you who are joining us for the fall series in September. And many of you I'll see at the shows that we do the rest of the summer. So have a great, sunny, warm, wonderful, fun summer with your friends and families, and I will look forward to seeing you again or talking to you again in September.